Cancer and Cancer Rising. This is your April 2017 forecast. So last month I spoke about the significance of Venus retrograde, and Venus will stay retrograde until the 15th of April. If you want a refresher on Venus retrograde, you can just listen to the beginning of one of my March forecasts. So this month Mercury, that planet of the mind and communication, goes retrograde, and Mercury will be retrograde from the 9th of April until the 3rd of May. So Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year, and we're all familiar with the general significations of Mercury retrograde. So let's cover these and then look at what Mercury retrograde means for you in particular. So Mercury is how we think, speak, communicate, how we make connections. And with Mercury retrograde, that trickster side of Mercury can really come out. This is where Mercury tinkers with electronics and machinery, also hides objects, so missing objects quite common, things like car keys and phones easily misplaced. And general misunderstandings and miscommunications are fairly common, so we always want to check that we're on the same page as other people before we jump to conclusions. But Mercury is also the divine messenger, and where Mercury goes retrograde often tells us where we need to stop, pause, reflect and reassess in particular areas of our life. So let's look at where Mercury is retrograding for you. Mercury will be in your 11th house until the 21st of April, and Mercury in the 11th, it's a good placement to catch up with old friends. Or alternatively, some of you may find that you want to withdraw from the social scene, particularly if you've been overdoing it. Mercury in the 11th, it's a good time to weed out connections that aren't really serving you or friends that have no real value. On the other hand, you want to check, who your real friends are and, give them the benefit of the doubt because, like I said, more misunderstandings can occur at this time than usual. So you may want to connect with people that you've lost track of. This is also the house of goals and objectives, so you may want to connect with dreams from the past, things that you haven't paid attention to because things have been too difficult or challenging. So following up on lost dreams and objectives, and utilize those networks of yours to advance your goals. So Mercury will then be moving into your 10th house from the 21st on, and this is in your business sector or your professional life. It's the most visible placement of the chart. So with Mercury retrograde here, it can be a little bit tricky. You really want to take care of old business, finish work that you've started. Problems with bosses and authorities are also more common. It's not traditionally considered a good time for a career change, but it could be a good time to reapply for a job that you didn't get previously. It is, however, a good time to research a new career and perhaps make connections with people working in that sector. If you're self-employed, you want to be particularly careful with new clients and contracts that check understanding very carefully. And if at all possible, for some of you, this would be a very good time to take a break from work, generally speaking, to avoid those sorts of mix-ups. So let's look at where the other planets are this month. We've got the Sun in your 10th house, which is that very public, visible, and prominent sector of the chart. So this is the part of the chart where the Sun is the most concerned with career, goals, and objectives. So this is where you want to achieve, you want to shine, you want to accomplish a lot. Your competence can be really tested at this time. So, be sharp and look sharp because more people are aware of you and watching you. And because, like I said, this is a public, visible sector of the chart. There tends to be more contact with authority figures as well. And, generally with recognition comes more responsibilities. So more professional responsibilities coming your way and more visibility, certainly. So from the 20th, the Sun moves into your 11th house, and the Sun in the 11th house tends to be a very sociable sector of the chart, so lots of opportunities for fun social activities, activities with groups, friends. This is also the house of hopes and dreams, so really connecting with them and using your social networks to advance them. So generally speaking, a light-hearted social period ahead of you, where you focus on hopes and dreams and ideals, and you use your connections to advance these. So Venus is going to be in your 9th house for most of April, and Venus in the 9th, you really want to broaden your horizons through Venusian types of activities. So, things that stimulate the senses. So, this is a good time for concerts, exhibitions, going to beautiful scenic places, so definitely open up the mind through Venusian spheres. Because this is also the house of study, Venus here can really favor creative study of any kind, so art, fashion, film, or any kind of creative skill is very good. So, and for some of you, Venus in the 9th, of course, can open the mind through a vacation. So this could be a very good time to take a break from work if you can. So Mars is going to be in your 11th house until the 21st of April. And Mars in the 11th is very focused on formulating goals and pursuing them. This is also the house of teamwork, so using groups and connections to advance your professional goals is very indicated. So it's not really when you want to go it alone, you really want to utilize your contacts. So you need to, with Mars here being so self-driven and motivated, you need to coordinate your needs with other people. So don't step on too many toes, align your interests with other people and find the right people to work with. Mars in the 11th is also a very good placement for just going on doing physical activities with friends. So things like hikes, sports and games, really favored. So group activities that involve physical exercise, very good under this transit. So from the 21st, Mars moves into your 12th house, and Mars in the 12th can be a little bit frustrated, can feel a little bit misunderstood and underappreciated. Mars in the 12th, it's a better placement for working alone or for developing things behind the scenes that you want to launch when Mars goes into the first house, which of course follows Mars being in the 12th house, so it's not all doom and gloom. So Mars in the 12th, feeling a little bit underappreciated or like you're not getting the recognition that you deserve for your efforts. Mars here, like I said, it's good for research and study behind the scenes on the other hand, for projects and things that you're developing that you want to launch, and also very good for service work and charitable work, generally speaking, if those things crop up for you. So let's look at the aspects this month. On the 5th of April, we've got Mars trining Pluto from your 11th to your 7th house. And Mars and Pluto in good aspect is great for creativity and energy. It's good for sustained effort, getting a great deal done. So you're able to direct a lot of energy towards your goals. So this is very good for the pursuit of ambitions and objectives. And you're able to accomplish a lot and advance a great deal if you utilize this transit well. So on the 8th, we've got Venus retrograde squaring Saturn. Now, Venus and Saturn in hard aspect can always show your emotions kind of taking a little bit of strain. So the cooling of emotions. So perhaps advances have been rebuffed, and for you, this could be around in the workplace. So it can also sometimes indicate financial strain or loss. It's harder to relate to others when with this type of aspect. Relations are a little bit more strained. So either way, you want to back up and just reassess. On the 9th, we've got the Sun squaring Pluto from your 10th to your 7th house, and this one you'll have to watch out for because it's happening in angular houses, so you're more likely to feel this one. So the Sun and Pluto in hard aspect can show power struggles, you can encounter people on an ego trip, so there's lots of intensity of experiences and getting swept up by energies that are out of your control, but definitely you want to watch out for those power struggles and ego conflicts, particularly in the workplace and with partnerships. So the full moon this month is in Libra in your 4th house on the 11th. And for the last 2 weeks, your energies have been on career goals and public matters. Now, your personal or home, life can be more demanding, or, you may have to tend to property, family, or personal concerns. So this is all about striking a balance between professional and personal kind of demands. And so, like I said, home, family, or property matters could grab you at this time. So on the 14th, we've got the Sun conjunct Uranus in your 10th house. And this is really where you want to try something different. And for you, this could be professionally. Fresh and new solutions and progressive thinking are indicated by this conjunction. So, this could be changing circumstances in the workplace, the opportunity to make new professional contacts. But definitely be prepared to be flexible and to try something different. On the 17th, we've got the Sun trining Saturn from your 10th to your 6th house. And the Sun in a favorable aspect with Saturn is good for ambition, for serious concerns, discipline, study. This gives you that patience and endurance, and you're also able to deal with responsibilities, particularly professional and work responsibilities for you, with real maturity. This could also show, help or assistance from older or respected people for you in the professional or work sphere. So on the 20th, we've got Mercury conjuncting the Sun in your 11th house, and Mercury retrograde here. So it can be, going back to certain things, mentally speaking, or intellectual pursuits. But the mental focus is still pretty sharp with, the Sun and Mercury in conjunction. It can help you be clear about your mission statement, so perhaps you revise certain things and you get some clarity of purpose. This is also good for learning and activity, movement and travel. And again, one where you want to be adaptable and flexible and sharp. So on the 24th, Mercury trines Saturn from your 10th to your 6th house, and much like the Sun trines Saturn, Mercury and Saturn are very good for serious subjects, good for travel, good for learning and education matters, so good for serious study. Also very good for work that's maybe tedious rather than inspired, so save the inspirational work for later. Tackle those things that you least feel like doing under this transit because you'll have the wherewithal to do so. So on the 26th, we've got a new moon in Taurus in your 11th house, and this is the active energies for the next 2 weeks are going to be in your 11th house sector. So this is the house of friends, groups, hopes and dreams. So working to advance hopes and dreams through goals through group activities and connections. So this is where you want to use your energy to reach out to people both personally and professionally. So making contacts, making connections, socializing, and using these networks, like I said, to advance your professional goals. So the month concludes with Mercury conjunct Uranus in your 10th house. And this can show excitement, fast-paced thinking, a lot of activity and mental stimulus. Mercury and Uranus together can sometimes show machinery acting up or scattered thinking conversely. If it's a positive transit for you, it can also be sudden insights, ideas, and exciting news. So this for you happening in the professional or public sector of your chart, so could be quite a happening. If you've enjoyed this forecast, please like and subscribe, and if you'd like to book a personal reading, you can visit my website at www.psyche.co.za to book a consultation. Thanks again for tuning in.